Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to this. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see the very end of this video, a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. So if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button down there. Up here is going to be Harley Quinn is what's going to be up there. Yeah. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com where I've got my weekly schedule up, and I've got the links to all my social media up there as well. I also mirror my weekly schedule on my Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook page, there is a group where you guys can join, post stuff, and talk amongst yourselves. All right. By the way, I have a Twitter and Instagram and a Patreon page. That's what's on those social media links are all about there. So let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back, and this will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. There we go. Excuse me. It's a little dry here today. What did Movie Fanobi says? I mean, now is when you should review, but weren't you doing Wednesdays? Yes, I was doing Wednesdays, but it's picking up right now, and that's the reason why. Yeah. So that's the answer to your question. If you actually watched some of these where I actually explained that already, Movie Fanobi, my mod, yeah, I actually explained that before, but there we go. I'll explain it again. So, yeah, we're in the thick of things right now. So essentially, we have the Siege of Mandalore going on. Maul, of course, is confronting Ahsoka, and he tells Ahsoka that she is the wrong Jedi that he wanted. As a matter of fact, she's the wrong Jedis that he wanted there. He actually wanted Kenobi and Anakin there. And the reason is, and this all actually makes sense if you've been watching the series, all the seasons, and especially the Maul-centric ones. He talks about that there's a plot. He doesn't know exactly what it is. He knows something's up. He keeps feeling things within the Force. He keeps seeing visions, but he doesn't know what it is. And he finally puts it together before everyone else does, is that everything's going to change and that the Republic is no longer going to be, Jedis are no longer going to be, and the Republic is going to turn into the Empire, is what he's seeing. And he also sees that Anakin is going to be the key to all of that. And that's the bad news. And so he tries, of course, to get Ahsoka to join him to basically what he wanted Anakin there so he could kill Anakin and put a monkey wrench in Darth Sidious's plans. He doesn't know that Darth Sidious is actually Chancellor Palpatine or Emperor Palpatine. And he even says that he is kind of he's just like Dooku, like Count Dooku, who is now dead, by the way. Count Dooku is now dead because we're in the first 30 minutes of Revenge of the Sith here in the movie. And because Count Dooku, while he played that he knew everything that was going on, he really didn't, and didn't realize that he was just being used as a pawn by Palpatine in order to get the Empire up and running and essentially bring Skywalker over into the dark side. And that's what the whole thing was all about with him. And yeah, Maul he's put two and two together. He's trying to, school Ahsoka on this. Ahsoka's like, yeah, fuck that. That's not going to happen. And yeah, he is basically hell-bent on taking everything down with him at this point, as long as he can take down Palpatine's plans. Because remember, Palpatine just kind of tossed him aside, treated him as cannon fodder, especially when you go back to when his brother, Savage Opress, when they both faced Palpatine, and Palpatine beat the shit out of them and killed Savage Opress without even without even breaking a sweat. He was just like, snap, there you go, bye. So yeah, Darth Maul really wants it in for Palpatine or Darth Sidious at this point, because he doesn't know again that Palpatine is Darth Sidious. Yeah, some good stuff, and it actually puts Revenge of the Sith in a little bit of a different context as well. I mean, because you're seeing this all happen while Revenge of the Sith is going on as well, and you see that Anakin at one point he's talking to Ahsoka, and he's pissed that Anakin killed. Excuse me, not Anakin. Obi-Wan is talking to Ahsoka at one point, and he's pissed at Anakin because Anakin killed Count Dooku before they could question him about who the hell Sidious was. And that wasn't portrayed in the movies, that they were pissed off that the Jedi Council was kind of upset that Dooku got killed, even though it was at Chancellor Palpatine's, do it. And that wasn't portrayed in the movies. But now we see that, yes, Kenobi is confirming that, yes, the Jedis were kind of pissed about that. But the Jedis are actually scattered across the galaxy anyway. They're scattered on the outer rims right now because they're helping the clone troopers. And Maul also knows something else is coming as well with the clone troopers. That is why he grabs one of the clone troopers, Jesse. And well, not only because he's older and knows a bit more about Ahsoka, so he wanted to know about Ahsoka, but also he's studying his, I guess, his brain a little bit too, and he knows that Order 66 is coming, and he wants to get the fuck out of there as fast as possible because any Force wielders, that's what the clone troopers are going to take down, except for Palpatine because that's their condition to order, take their orders from is Palpatine. So a lot of stuff coming together, and also we have the Siege of Mandalore ending. Bo-Katan, basically the Mandalorians, the people of Mandalore, I should say, the citizens of Mandalore, do not look kindly on the Republic at the moment because they invaded Mandalore and were putting people in the shelter while Maul was still running around. And if Order 66 comes about, when all this shit goes down and basically Palpatine becomes Emperor Palpatine, Mandalore is going to be under the Empire control, correct? Because they already have the clone troopers there. The half of the 501st is there right now, taking over Mandalore. Yeah. So there's all kinds of wrinkles that are happening now with all of this. That was the first thing I was thinking. I was like, oh shit, that's right. As I was watching the episode, I was like, oh shit, that's right. You have an invading force right now sitting there in Mandalore, occupying it. And they're about to switch over from the Republic to the Empire in about half an hour to 45 minutes is what's going to happen. And Rex, does Rex still have his chip in? So you go back to season 5 of this series. Fives was actually looking into the chip itself. He actually found out that all clone troopers were implanted with an inhibitor chip, and that the inhibitor chip actually goes wrong under one of the clone troopers, and he kills one of the Jedis that he is with because it activates Order 66 prematurely. And Fives actually ends up dying, going through this whole thing of finding out what was going on. And the Caminans, yes, cover it up because they, of course, are working with Darth Sidious at this point. And yeah, they are ordered by, actually they're working for Dooku, who's working for Sidious, and cover that whole thing up about Order 66. It almost came out, the cat almost came out of the bag, but they got to Fives in time and killed him before any of that got out. So yeah, lots of stuff going on right now. And Ahsoka doesn't have her lightsabers. She dropped them. She was at the top of the dome there, and she lost not one, but 2 of her lightsabers. They both dropped down below. We don't know to where. So, yeah, and Maul has been captured. When Maul gets captured, he's falling, and, Ahsoka stops him from falling, and then Bo-Katan uses her grappling cables to wrap around him and then stuns him, knocking him out. And he's screaming, no, all this time because he knows that if he goes back with the stormtroopers, he's, the clone troopers, he's going to die because, they're all going to switch over to kill mode. Kill all humans, baby. Kill all Jedi. And yeah, so this is an interesting look at this part. It's an interesting look at the prequels, quite honestly, from a different point of view, if you will. And I liked where this was going. This actually almost made me want to watch episode 3 again. Almost. And then I remembered how bad it was. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. Can't do it. Sorry. Even though it is the best out of the series, it's still, yeah. Come on over to the dark side. No. Come on over to the dark side. No. Come over to the dark side. Come over to the dark side. No, no, no. All right, sure, why not? Yeah. And that's the whole thing too, is from this point of view, we're seeing Anakin is looking at Kenobi as to what happened to his love on Mandalore, his secret girlfriend, if you will. And that's another thing that pushes him towards the dark side. Excuse me. Because he doesn't want to become like Kenobi and lose the love of his life. He doesn't want to lose Padme. But also he goes a little bit crazy in that because he's getting force visions and shit and doesn't know what to expect. And yeah. So we got a lot of stuff going on in this series that is making the prequels look better, is really what's going on. It does make the prequels look better, I have to admit. And remember, once this is over with, once this series is over with, this is the last vestige of Star Wars that is going to have George Lucas's name stamped on it other than created by. This is the last thing that he actually helped create. Actually, he was the one who created this along with Dave Filoni and all that stuff. And this is going to be the last thing that he's going to have his fingerprints on, which is a good way to go out, quite honestly, because this is some really good stuff. Joe Greer says, I've seen enough times on TNT repeats, only the beginning and end parts. Yeah, I've seen that too. It was playing over and over and over again. It's also on Disney Plus, though, as well. All uncut, and you can watch it from beginning to end. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Maul sees this all coming. He sees it playing out in real time. He knows what's coming now at this point, and he tries to warn Ahsoka. And Ahsoka, at first, she's like, okay, sure, let's go and take down Darth Sidious. And then when he says that in order to do this, we need to kill Anakin, she's like, oh no, fuck that. And the lightsaber scenes in this, the lightsaber fight, or fights, I should say, is awesome. Especially when she blows him out through the stained glass window and he's got his lightsaber held this way and he takes out a little piece of the wall on the side with his lightsaber. And yes, Joker, there's no narrator at the beginning of this because this is all supposed to be a movie. These last 4 episodes, is that right? Because we have next week. I'm taking a look at my calendar here. Yes, so we have next Friday and we've got 2 more episodes left. We have 11 and 12. So 9, 10, 11, 12 are all supposed to be one big movie, is what this is. That's why it's part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. It's all supposed to go together. So that's why you had the very beginning of it with the old Star Wars Lucasfilm Limited there in the front, and then the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, going out like the original movies, or like the movies, because it is supposed to be a self-contained movie. Much like how this series started, it started off with a 2-hour movie. It's ending with a 2-hour movie, and that's fucking awesome. Quite honestly, it's going out like it came in. And Filoni's a genius on that, quite honestly, doing it that way. And that's why there's no narrator. We already are caught up to everything. Hey, Morks, how's it going? Yeah, and so just that little bit about telling us that the Jedis are scattered out into the outer rims to help the clones with their various battles, because that what is it, the Separatists are pressing the attack, and then Grievous is attacking Coruscant with going after Chancellor Palpatine and all of that. That actually sets everything up better than the way Lucas did in the films, quite honestly. And I know that's why he was doing the Gennady Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars, and that actually led up to the movie, and that was actually really good. But now they've retconned that with this because Disney now owns it, and the Gennady Tartakovsky Clone Wars no longer is canon. Now this is. So, yeah. So good stuff. I want to see how this thing ends. I mean, Ahsoka's no longer a Jedi. Rex, does he still have the chip in or not? Because I want to say that he looked into this stuff with fives, and he may have gotten his chip removed. Because in Rebels, the older Rex mentions that he and the other clone troopers that are with him, the two others, excuse me, all have their inhibitor chips removed. But when did they do that? When did they have their inhibitor chips removed? Have they already had their inhibitor chips removed? Are they going to have their inhibitor chips removed? What's going to happen? And I guess we'll see. So, yeah. And this, again, remember, this is all going to tie into the live action Mandalorian as well, because the Siege of Mandalore plays big on what was happening with the Mandalorian. So this is all Dave Filoni, by the way. This is the shit I've been pushing for years now, saying that Dave Filoni needs to get involved in all of this, and he has. And that is what's happening right now. That's why we're getting such good Star Wars that are not movies. That it's all TV at the moment. And that's the reason why. You have to look at it from the big picture point of view on this one. And it's all tying together little by little. And him and Jon Favreau together are doing some awesome shit. That's all I can say. This is what Star Wars should have been all along, quite honestly. And yeah, instead we got episode 7, 8, and 9. Less said about those things, the better. They exist in the Kelvin universe. That's J.J. Abrams' universe that he has, the Kelvin universe. So, now that I've blown your minds on all that, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and talk about it with you guys, as long as my stream holds up. Because everyone and their mother streams on Saturdays, and everyone's watching YouTube on Saturdays, and it gets glitchy as fuck. So it could be, I mean, even this probably is going to have a little glitch here and there. So that's just the way YouTube is now. Sunday, of course, is Westworld. Monday is going to be Dispatches from Elsewhere, the final episode and probably the season finale of Dispatches from Elsewhere on AMC. It's self-contained. The story is pretty much self-contained to that season. Tuesday is going to be Future Man, the last season of Future Man. I'm going episode by episode once a week is what I'm doing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Excuse me. Wednesday and Thursday I'm going to be off, and then we wrap back around again to Harley Quinn and Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the double shot on Friday. Yeah. Joker says, I try to tell the Facebook people it's in good hands now. Star Wars Life After Skywalker. Yeah. It is. There's another thing that's coming up. I'll talk about it tomorrow. There's something happening live action Star Wars wise on Disney Plus that I don't know about. I'm kind of hinky on it right now. It's like, I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this, is what I'm saying. And I'll talk about that tomorrow. So I don't want to spoil it now, but that's the teaser for you guys to come in on Saturday Morning Blast Off, and I'll talk about that. So thank you, everybody who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, remember, take a look at the video that pops up here at the very end. And if you like that, hit the subscribe button down here, someplace down here. Like, share, and subscribe is what I'm saying. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit that bell down below there. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. So the best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at my weekly schedule, and all the links to my social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. There's no tier set up yet on the Patreon page. I'm waiting until I hit about 1,000, then I will probably do something at that point in time. I just don't like grabbing money for people and for not really giving you anything than just this, the vodcast, the vlogcast, or whatever it's called. So, I'd rather wait a little bit and when I have something to give you. There's ideas out there, trust me. There's stuff that's been worked on. It's there. It's almost tangible. But it's happening. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off. Remember, there's some Star Wars centric news there. Join me again tomorrow, and I will see you then. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, some Mandalorians may kick your ass and tase you and take you in for questioning. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.